each of us will share 3 things that we are still insecure for each other after 5 years of being together. I don't know what his 3 things are, and he doesn't know what my 3 things are.
So stay tuned to find out.
Hi guys, welcome to the Twalkers. We have been together for 5 years now, but we still have some insecurities towards each other. We haven't discussed this in a while now, so we thought it would be a good idea to talk it on our podcast and get you guys along with us as well. So let's get started. Okay, so what's your first?
So first of all, I did have to think a lot to find the 3, and it was really hard right now because we are in this COVID situation, and we've been home for 3 months. That's I don't know when we'll publish it, but this is when we are shooting it. So we've been home for 2-3 months now. So we are constantly with each other, and we are constantly talking and communicating. So a lot of those insecurities go away, and that gave me some really insight, which I'll share in the end. But so it was really hard, first of all, considering the situation we are in now. So I had to look back slightly in the past to find out where the insecurities were, or where at what times I felt insecure. So the first one is just chatting and messaging apps, I think.
Yeah.
So whether it's Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, all those things, but it's not very recent, to be honest. This is probably still a year and a half old insecurity, but and I think it's changed since. So it's not the case now where I constantly see you chatting to someone, obviously. But I think early days, when I didn't, we were still getting to know each other, and I see you chatting for few hours sometimes, then I would be like, who is she chatting to? What is she chatting about? But yeah, I think that was one of them.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know. I mean, I knew when you had it, but I didn't know you still.
I don't have that, but I think, yeah, if you still, again, if you're chatting away still to someone for hours,
If
I
I
would still
start
have that.
doing
Yeah,
it
I would still
again.
have that question, right? You would have that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I have questions about each and every chats in your phone.
There you go. It does get checked.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. We used to check each other's phone a lot.
Early days,
Early
yeah.
days, but I think so that used to be the insecurities on my side, of very heavy insecurities about
Yeah.
the girls, and I think that's I don't I don't feel that insecure now,
Yeah.
but yeah. Yes.
And I mean, while we're having this conversation, so for example, I'm not on Facebook anymore, or Instagram. I'm just experimenting with work, dealing without YouTube as well. And do you think those things has helped in some ways, where where I am, and it's kind of like the environment, right?
Yes, those things do help because because I don't see a name popping up a lot or something like that. But I think more than that, what really helped was your reaction every time I would react upon any of my insecurities, and how you would make me understand, or you would give me a reason that or give me a reason to believe in you. So I think that was the reason. But this was not my first. We are just talking about
obviously,
your
but
first.
it's good to have that. We haven't had this conversation in a while, so it's good to understand. Yeah.
So
Or
what
ever.
helped your ever never we haven't we've I don't think we've ever had.
Yeah.
What helped your insecurity then about my chatting stuff?
I think you just reduced it a bit as well, and then I think we both had this conversation, and we started making conscious effort that when the other person's talking to you, you kind of put everything aside and give that attention. to that person. So whether it's phone, messaging, Instagram, whatever.
And I think you also got to know the people I was chatting to
Yeah, that's the
better.
biggest one. Yeah.
So because we didn't have much time before marriage
Yeah.
to know about each other's friends or family or stuff. I think so. Earlier you used to get insecure about each and every name on my chat list or
Correct,
something,
yeah.
and then you got to know them, and I think that definitely
That makes a big difference.
made
Definitely.
a big difference as well. And then of course our conscious efforts towards
Yeah.
helping with each other towards those insecurities.
Cool. So that was a very interesting one. What's your next one?
Well,
Sorry, first one.
yeah. My first one is that when we start a series together,
TV series together.
yeah, and any TV series or any movies or anything,
Mm-hmm.
I just feel insecure that you will just finish it without me. So I just don't start one with you.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, I can't think of many series that we finished together.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we've just started watching this
Yeah.
Amazon Prime series called This Is Us.
Yeah.
And that's been one of the best series we've seen.
And we've been watching it together. So
yeah.
that's the best thing.
Well,
It's just
I think this one series we saw together was Narcos, right? Season
4.
Season 3.
Yeah, 3,
yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was.
So, yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, actually, that was also we saw together.
But yeah, I know what you mean. We don't.
Yeah, I mean,
start or
it's
finish
not
it together.
always that you finish it, but sometimes I get busy with some things and then you can't, you can't help the curiosity, so you have to kind of watch.
Yeah, like same. I think Downtown Abbey, right? Like,
We didn't start it together.
fair enough. Cool.
Yeah, this is just like
But
a
But that's
simple
not
one.
insecurity, right? That's just.
I know you, I do get insecure that you will finish it without me. So, kind of,
Interesting.
yeah, like, I would rather not start one with him. Or, I don't offer to start one.
That is funny though. Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah,
First
because
world problems, right?
I know, that's very first one. Because I couldn't find money. So, I had to put this one on the list.
Yeah.
So, what's your
So-
second one then?
I would kind of put two things in it, in some because those are like similar. Well, not similar, but anyways. So I think the two things I put in is, well, first one is the main one. The other one was just one off. So the main one, the second one is essentially work parties.
Okay.
So
I had no idea.
So again, I had to like look back a year or more to kind of find something. I think the last one is the main one, I think, which is the main one currently, I feel. But otherwise, yeah, this one is work party. So I think with work parties, it's more not about insecurity. Well, I'm sure there is some inside, but I think the main one with work parties is, work parties often finish quite late, midnight, all that stuff. And work parties are fun. There is a casual environment there, and so and I'm not there basically.
Yeah.
Sometimes some of these places there's no phone network as well, so if I have to get hold of you at 11 or midnight, it's kind of I have to, I don't know it basically, and which is fine. I mean, you usually do tell me where you are and stuff, and so I don't feel insecure in terms of you do something wrong, because we know each other enough to know that we don't drink, we don't like go clubbing every other night, so it's not like that we have that work party culture. But I think that insecurity comes from like the safety point of view, and I think that's partly come from my dad and how I grew up as well, where
Even my parents.
Yeah. So I think that's where it comes from, where you want to make sure that I'm taking care of you and all that, and obviously I do, but it's just I understand that work parties can be late, and I go to them as well. But yeah, that's I think one times where I used to feel insecure a lot. Obviously as time goes, and And the other thing with that, actually, I should mention is you're very bit bad with your phone battery. So it's like you going to the party at 6 or 7, you're gonna be late, and then your battery is like 30% or something while at 7 p.m. And so it's like you have battery pack but you don't charge it, and then that's kind of what adds to the whole worrying bit as well. But yeah, so I think that was probably one of the harder things for me, to kind of just help you explain that yes, pretty much a lot of the places and things are safe, but there are unsafe things out there as well. And I think you have realized that over time as well, that the world is just not like everything fairy tale. There are darker sides to everything. So I think that has been an important one. And my purpose with that was only to not to like stop you from doing anything, but just make you aware that there are this risk out there, and you should be at least aware of them, so you can take care of yourself. And not that I don't want to, but you take care of yourself. So yeah, so I think that one was main one of the big ones, early days.
Yeah, it's interesting because to be honest, work parties, you also know this, like what work parties for me are like usually boring, like because I don't drink, and then I'm new to the culture. So in the beginning I used to feel obliged to go to work parties, because I used to think if I wouldn't go, the people there would feel bad or something,
Yeah.
or it will look bad on my part because I didn't attend that. And then as you said, the battery and everything else, and then also like it's also nice to be
Yeah, you
with
should
your
definitely
colleagues
hang
and
out,
stuff.
because at work it's
But
all about work. It's important to socialize and connect with
to
people
know them and something,
outside
and
work.
then because you're there and it's nice, you kind of, I really don't want to get that late, because next day you have to go to work with the same people.
Yeah.
So I would like to come home early and have some time off. But then while you're there, you just like kind of forget about time and stuff, because it's usually like restaurants or something, and you're waiting for the meal to come in
Yeah.
and something.
And I think
But
sorry, I'll let you finish.
yeah, but I think with time I have kind of understood, um, uh, I've kind of understood the time part of it, and how I can leave as well. I'm not saying that I'm leaving because you feel insecure. I leave because
Yeah.
I feel sometimes bored there as well. So
And I think so that's the point I was trying to say as well, is like so I think early days as well, and still sometimes I think the harder thing was for you was how to tell everyone and how to say no to certain things. No, in the sense that okay, I need to go, I need to dash, that kind of a thing. And like I've been always open, like and
yeah, because
after
I
front.
don't drink as well, and then I
Yeah.
leave early as well. So I didn't want to give them an impression of
Yeah.
because I used to hang out with friends when I was in India and stuff, and I used to go out all the time and stuff. But then coming here, like because of these reasons, I do want to leave early, but like I don't want them to get an impression
Yeah.
of
And
me being you know like an Indian daughter-in-law or something. Like I don't
yeah.
want them to assume all those things for
Yeah.
me. uh, but uh, but like so has anything helped you with that insecurity?
Well, I don't think insecurity helps, but I think the main thing was just so soon as the so what has helped probably is a couple of things. One is you understanding that it's not safe out there. The second thing as well is you over time you have become much more confident in terms of saying that actually guys, I need to go, I've got this. And sometimes we genuinely had like people coming over, and you would be worried
Or we had
about,
to attend a party or something.
and
So
you would be worried about, oh, how would I kind of get out of it. So I think you becoming more confident in terms of just saying that, okay, I need to leave. And obviously it's still a learning process, but I think that those kind of things have helped. And I think finally I just trust nature, right? Like I trust this, yeah. I just, so I mean, I say trust nature and not, I trust you, that's a given. But I trust nature, or to,
Nature to take care of
take
this
care of everything.
situation
Yeah, exactly. So I think
somehow.
that has
And also,
helped.
like, I forgot to give you I used to forget to give, sorry. I used to forget to say, forward the address to you, or like keep my phone battery,
Yeah.
like, forget about my phone batteries and stuff, which, with time, I have kind of learned to manage better as well. And like, yeah, I mean, yeah. So, and yeah, I have also understood that I don't have to be there, or, I don't
Yeah.
need to be there and stuff. But so yeah, with the quarantine and everything, I have a work thing every week now. So how do you feel about that one?
Work thing.
I have a work event every week, isn't it? Like a team quiz, or like
Sure.
something, and everyone's like drinking online and stuff. Like, I
Yeah.
have a thing every week now, which
Yeah.
I didn't used to have before. So how do you feel about that now?
There's no issues, right? Because the thing is, the issue was never, or issue, I won't even call it an issue, but the insecurity in some ways was not to do with, you going to drink, or, going out with friends. It was more about, what things can happen. There are a lot of homeless people, and, not saying homeless people are bad, but, things can escalate as well. So yeah, in short, I'll say that again, I didn't like that answer. So yeah, you working, the fear was always about your security. So being home, I know, you do what you do, so I don't have, I'm fine with
So
that,
you
right?
find with my work events if that's from
And
from
even,
home.
exactly, and even like, for example, even for your work, you are often, very often, right, you have to go visit different sites and do inspections, and that is fine, because you have to go to places, and those places, sometimes you've told me that you've been scared to go
That's
to.
actually more dangerous than actual work event, because
Exactly.
I remember this one place where I went to inspect in the basement, and they started making some really inappropriate comments, because they
Yeah.
are all guys, all
Yeah.
the
Exactly.
contractors, people who are just like working there, and they just
Yeah.
see this girl coming in the building. Not all of them are like that,
Yeah,
but
but
there could be some of them. Or
it's a
because
men's
it was
world.
like
Yeah.
a, yeah, and the sites are definitely men's world. And I used to be this cute little girl. I would sometimes wear a skirt to side, because I wouldn't, I didn't know better. So and then I think the basement gave them the privacy to pass inappropriate comments. So that was quite
Yeah, and
scary.
so same, I get equally worried about you there as well.
Yeah.
And that's part of, just, you call it me being a husband, or just me just caring about you, but
I think it's just
yeah.
care, because you
It's
never
not,
want me to like like don't speak to someone,
yeah.
or like stop going to those things. You always wanted to know that I was safe, and
Yeah.
keep a peace of mind and keep a check. So
And this wisdom, I mean, to be perfect, being honest here is, wasn't always there. There were times where I was feeling insecure about, your friends, or some people that, I don't know enough about. But I think it's just time, right? So what's the second one?
okay, my second one is a bit serious, and I don't think we have talked about it about it a lot. um, it has been there since the beginning, but it kind of got lost in other urgent insecurities, or urgent things, and I never shared with you since I put it on the list. But the funny thing is that when I put it on the list, after that we have actually discussed about it here and there, including today. So, um, well, to summarize it, it's just I sometimes fear, or I sometimes feel insecure that you might not take me seriously, or your opinion might get influenced by certain people in your life. By no means I am saying that those people are like influencing you, but it's just, it's natural to get influenced. Also, it's sometimes I could be wrong, so that's why you don't take that seriously, because my opinion is not right. It's just my fear or my insecurity that more I need to work on more than I mean, of course, you have helped me with it, even though you didn't know about it. Like, I know you have put your foot down sometimes for me, or you have been there for me always. And this is like a lot better than how it used to be. And I feel more confident now, and I can fight with it and deal with it. And that's the reason I was able to share it with you in the first place. The first time I shared with you, I think a week ago or something. So yeah, I already trust you more than before, but yeah, I do get this insecurities sometimes.
God, that was really hard for you.
It was
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, fair enough.
and as we were talking about the show, that nobody's that show that in that show nobody is bad, things just happen. And it's the similar with this insecurity as well. The reason I haven't talked about it maybe is because it's such a sensitive, like insecurity. But yeah, so like it's nobody's fault or anything. It's just maybe I am like too introvert and shy to like say something out loud confidently, and that's why people don't tend to take something seriously when I say, or we have different perspectives. So yeah, I think it's not that you have done something, that's why I have this insecurity. No, but it's just how situations have taken place. And I think through years, I think you have understood me better, and I have understood you better. And because of that, I think I have a lot more trust than before.
So yeah, my third thing is kind of related to what you said. And I think the seriously part is, I think sometimes I joke when we talk about things. Is this, and that's just,
Yeah, I do get it now. Like
Yeah.
I'm cool with it now. That
Yeah.
yeah, I know he jokes.
I'll be honest here as well, and you know this, it's not like a hidden thing, but there's two reasons about me joking as well. One is kind of just lighten up the mood, so things are not too serious and things don't escalate. And second thing is, sometimes when we start taking things lightly, not saying that the problem doesn't exist, but it's okay to talk about the problem, and it's okay to joke about it as well, is not to kind of say it's not seriously. And we have had this discussion as well, but it's to actually encourage the discussion, to say that okay, yeah, this can happen, and sometimes we do end up doing silly things, and
Acceptance,
Yeah,
and is
and-
I think the way towards solution.
yeah,
I
and
think.
rather than being more serious about it, we can take it lightly and have a more open conversation. I mean, that's how I see it. And I think, yeah, it sometimes does take time, like, because I could be very funny in my own, well, I think you understand the kind of jokes I make,
Yeah,
because
it's
they're
quite sarcastic.
sarcastic
I think
and
other
on the edge as well sometimes.
some people also get offended by
Could get
by
offended,
them, and
yeah.
then like some, yeah. So,
Yeah, it is on that
but
thin
it's
line.
when you get it, it's really funny as well. So that's the reason.
Yeah, when you start getting it, start being
Well,
funny.
it even used to be funny when it used to be funny, but it kind of hits you
Double hard, right?
Yeah, so then that's why you just hate it.
Yeah.
But secretly you do find it funny.
Funny.
So
And but the thing is, look, and that used to be the case where I would like joke about it instantly, and you'll be like angry, or not angry, but like upset about it, let's say, because we shouldn't say the truth. Joking. See, this is what I'm saying. So sometimes, but now that I do this, you understand that and you laugh about it, and we would end up like having a laugh in between a conversation. So yeah, I think we still obviously learning, and there's still a lot of years left. I mean, 2 days time, my parents
Finished 30
30 years
years
of their
of
marriage.
their marriage.
So we just on 5 still. So that's long way to go. Lot to learn.
Yeah, a lot to learn. I think this one, is also learning and understanding as well, because as I said, it used to be really bad and then it has improved a lot on both of our
Yeah.
sides. So I have learned to let go of things that don't matter, and you have also learned to understand that I do put a lot of thought behind something when I say it finally. So you were saying the other day that you didn't used to get it, but like now you get it, that no, she does put a lot of thought, and so you have also learned to
Yeah.
take it seriously, and all that, and that has happened naturally because we both wanted to just be happy together, and uh, didn't want any frictions and stuff. So
Yeah.
anyways, so what's your third one then?
So my third one is when you start thinking
Thinking.
on my behalf.
Okay.
And you know this, right? We've raised it enough times, but it's like when you start saying, "Oh, you did this because you thought of it this way," and a lot of the times, or most of the times, it's not the case. It's something else, and I'm coming from a different perspective. You coming from a different perspective, but I think that is an insecurity. So a lot of the times, when we talk about things, it's funny because it's funny, but it's not funny at the same time, right? Because a lot of the times when I'm talking to you, or when I'm trying to convey the message that, okay, I know I disagree with you, but this and this is the reason, um, a lot of my thinking goes into making sure that those thoughts, negative thoughts, are away, and it's not based on assumptions, because I'm directly telling you this. So yeah, so that is quite important, because yeah, I always get worried about you thinking something else, or assuming something else which I haven't even thought of, or I won't even think about. And the thing is, our mind is a monkey, right? So I this insecurity is about the mental thoughts, right? The thought waves that we constantly get, and then we often run away with it. So that is one of the things I do worry about, and I think over time it's improved like 100-fold, I would say, in the past 5 years, and I'm sure we can improve 100-fold even further, both of us. I mean,
Yeah.
but I think when we stop thinking about all the would-be scenarios, or all would-be thoughts, and just start asking, right? We don't have to, we are in that stage where, if you think of something, rather than assuming, you can just ask me. And that has started happening now,
Yeah.
slowly, and it's going to only improve if we keep at it. So I think that is the biggest insecurity. But the thing is, again, we did the right thing. We didn't let those mental thoughts happen and multiply over time. We talked about it, we faced it head on, saying that if you have any kind of insecurity, how crazy it might be, you tell me, and I listen to it. But you don't make assumptions, and I won't create perceptions. And I
Yeah,
think,
the first thing, I think that one of the first things that you told me was that if you have anything against me, or if you get any doubts or anything, don't keep it hidden in your
yeah,
heart and just share it with me. And I think that was what I really needed,
yeah,
because I used to be this person so badly that I would just not share any grievances or anything. I would just like put a happy face and put those things under the carpet. And I thought that was the right thing to do until the carpet just exploded one day. So when we met and when you told me this, I was like, man, I'm so glad he said that, because that kind of gave me a permission. Permission is not the right word, but that kind of made me comfortable sharing with you some things. Sorry, anything that,
I was like, something? It's like, after all this?
no, anything that would
yeah.
make me upset even slightly.
Yeah.
Like I used to share with you even like small things in the beginning that used to make me upset, and yeah, you would help me or tell me the truth. But yeah, with this particular one, I think the main reason behind happening that was, I think, just we coming from different backgrounds, and I have seen certain kind of people from where I was coming from, like at my workplace or at my any places that I used to go. And so that's why if you say something, I was just automatically assume that you are coming from the same point of view that those people would be coming from.
Yeah.
So I think that was clearly a difference of background.
And I think we had that conversation that you mentioned it, which is where it's like, have that mental stamp for each other that, this person's always on my side. And that's hard, right? Like,
I think 2-3 years into
yeah.
the relationship, we learned that the other person is on my side. I mean, we knew it, but
yeah,
we
but
kind
it's
of
like,
made it official.
Yeah, even though we know each other and we've decided to be together, that I-ness is still there, right? We still want to protect our identity, and we want to protect that we are good, and there's that, we still have that holding on thing. And I think in our life early days as well, we had that, both of us had that. And I think slowly when that trust started to build, that I-ness kind of goes away.
I think
and
that's
then,
more like a fear that the other person will judge me or will
Exactly.
take me as a bad person.
Yeah.
I think we both had it. And you being quite direct and honest about your opinions or opinions.
Yeah.
I would just completely take it for something else, because that's what I have seen
Yeah.
through my life. So I'm like, yeah,
And I
this
never
is
learned to like sugarcoat things,
yeah,
which is my biggest issue.
so direct
was
and
my
honest
biggest issue as
is
well.
what I meant. And then with this particular one, I think when you said the first time that stop thinking on my behalf, it just hit me. I was like, but am I doing it? Like, maybe yes. Like, I've just started thinking on his behalf. So that just kind of made me aware about the fact that I could be assuming things about where he's coming from. So after that, I started to ask you that,
That's
wait,
just simple,
where are
right?
you coming from?
Yeah.
Like, can you explain?
Why did you answer it this way?
Yeah, exactly. So we started doing
And it's
that.
such a simple life, right? That way, once is like, rather than spending all this time on my own, I just ask it and outsource the problem, right? Like, it's like, why
it's like
put
just
effort in it?
Just ask.
Yeah.
That's the simplest. So,
And just to say on the other part as well, about just communicating clearly and having that open conversation, I think it is, I'd be honest, and we've had that conversation as well, is like, I was not that person before in my past, right? It took a lot of mistakes and a lot of stupidness for me to be the person I am now and the person I would like to be tomorrow. So we all have flaws, right? I mean, that's the main thing. I guess we want to mention, which is we all have flaws, and it's how we work upon it. By accepting the flaws makes us different, or makes us the person who we want to be. And having an honest conversation rather than overthinking stuff, just having a simple conversation solves a lot of problems.
like taking tests, or like, if I put you in this
How would that
situation,
person
how
react?
would that person react?
Yeah.
I think that is
It's not the way
it's
to
not
deal
a
with it.
game.
Yeah.
And also
And
I used to be a difficult one to, because I am like a really, I used to be like a really closed person that, it did, take a lot for me to like finally open up, and especially because we didn't know each other for a long time. Yes, I also had some egos, and like, not egos, but ego is a harsh word, but
I-ness in some ways. We all have that. Yeah.
I-ness in some ways when I came here. So that, but then I eventually understood that this is my person and I am his person, and why fight for stupid I-ness, because we both are on
Open
each
to each
other's
other, literally.
sides, and we both are there for each other. Sorry, what?
Nothing. So yeah, and I think that's the main thing. With if you have to summarize this, I guess this one has been a long one actually.
Yeah, this one has been.
But it was a very interesting subject, I think. You're still one. You still
My
have
third one is left.
Okay, sorry, I'll let you finish.
No, it's okay.
Go on. Yeah, what's your final one then?
Oh, okay. Well, so my final one is that if I'll go away from you, or if I'll spend a lot of time away from you, you will go, you will not stay as close with me, and you'll just, I don't know, just like stay, fall apart from me or something. So
This is one of those "what if I die? What would you do?" scenario.
No, not that. It's like, yes, I wanna, go away and wash my hair and take a bath for 2 hours. But then, if I'll stay away from him for this long, he will not stay close to me. Like, he.
Oh wow, you have that.
I do have that sometimes.
I didn't
But
know
I think since we have started to sit apart during Corona, because we had to, because we had we have
this is
to
work from home you're talking
work
about.
from home. Yeah, sorry. We have 2 desks, one downstairs and one upstairs, and of course I can't expect you to, or I can't myself sit on a floor just so that we can be in the same room. So we kind of eventually we did that. We sat, one of us sat on the floor and the other one was working on the desk. But then eventually we understood that that's not going to work. So then we are sitting apart, and you are still not away from me, and you are still close with me. So I think that has helped, that even if we are away from each other, even if we are in the same house. Well, I'm just,
I think I've
don't
got
know.
a better example. So I think when we did this thing, we were like, actually this as crazy as it may sound in a relationship, it was still more powerful, I think. And that was when we both were lying down on our bed, and every couples do that in the current times, or just generally in 21st century, so it's not crazy. But we had those times, and we still have those times sometimes, where we both will be lying down in bed and we'll be on our phones watching different TV shows.
Not just phones, on our headphones.
With our headphones on and watching different TV shows.
Me watching some rom-com and he watching some snake catching documentary or something.
I don't watch many of those.
You just were watching one.
That was just, I was waiting till you come into the room so I can play it. So I think it sounds silly, right? When people say that, but I think what that showed was, and not that we do that quite often, let's be, being honest there, but
Yeah.
I think what that actually showed was that we don't have to be constantly involved in each other to feel together, right? We even the presence around each other is close, like so
Yeah,
even
but
if we
yeah,
were-
so as long as we are like around each other, I feel fine.
yeah
But then the moment I have to, go something else, or maybe prioritize something else, which is personal, I start feeling insecure that you won't be close with me. You'll just go away from me because for like couple of hours I'm prioritizing something else,
Oh,
which is
wow.
not, which is personal, which is not my chores or something, because chores and everything, I know that you don't, of course you wouldn't mind me doing it, but something personal when I'm prioritizing,
But I think that, yeah, you're right. I
and
mean,
I would
that
just
can
like
happen.
try and be around you all the time, because I don't want you to like just go away from me. Like I used to think that this is like very subconscious one, which is like, if I'll go away from him, he will not be as close with
Oh,
me.
yeah, you had the longest insecurity where, yeah, you would have exactly this, which is, oh, if I'm not there tomorrow, you won't even know. Like,
Yeah, you'll find someone
like,
else.
yeah, exactly. Like
No, no,
every
no.
time she'll be
That's
up,
quite intense. That's not there anymore.
that wasn't intense,
That
okay?
used to be.
That wasn't intense because it was like every time you are like slightly upset, you'll be like, you won't even notice if I go away tomorrow. And I'm like, why? Like,
You'll find a replacement.
exactly.
I used to have that, but that's like long ago.
Yeah.
What? See, I don't have that anymore.
What?
That that you will find a replacement for me.
No, you don't, which is a good thing.
But the one that I have is like this subtle one, which if I'll go somewhere for 2 days, you will be not that close with me. Like
Yeah.
you will not stay my friend, kind of thing.
Hmm.
Because but then since we have started sitting in different rooms, and then you've still been close with me and you've still been my friend, so then it has made me realize that, oh no, actually I can stay away from him for a couple of hours and then he won't be.
And
It's just silly because you're
no,
gonna
it's
be
not.
my friend, I know that.
Now I'm a
But
husband. I'm sorry. I don't want to be just friends.
I'm not friend zoning you.
Too late. But I think so. I think it's two things, right? So one is, even if when we used to go to the offices and stuff, you'd still message each other now and then. Like there'll be a couple of
But
messages
for
passed.
some reason, office is fine with me because that's something.
No, but even now, that what I'm saying is that even now, that I'll come see you once or couple of
Yeah.
times a day. You will come see me couple of times a
Just
day.
barge into each other's
Yeah.
meetings and
And
stuff.
yeah, make funny faces behind the video call. Yeah.
Good thing that you don't have a mirror behind you. I saw this somewhere on internet that a wife flashed her husband, but her husband had a mirror
Oh, shit.
behind him. So everyone on the video call could see in the mirror
Oh,
that
God.
she was flashing him.
Oh, God.
So I was like, I'm not that I flash you.
Yeah, I was like,
But I mean, I make faces, and good thing is that, or maybe I pass you food like sneakily.
sneak in the food. Yeah.
Yeah, like I make a Maggie and then I give it to you, or water or something. But yeah, good thing that you don't have a mirror behind you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that has helped with that one. That I think this one is related to the second one somewhere, where about the certain people kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I used to have it. If I leave you alone, you will just not stay as close with me. You will just drift apart and become this not friend person. But since we have started sitting apart and still we have been the same close, which was of course was going to happen, but it's just like my silly insecurity.
It's not even a choice, right? I mean, because of coronavirus, I mean.
No, but it's what I'm trying to say is
I know what you're trying to
we
say.
don't sit in the same room, which used to bother me a lot before. Where if we both are in the house, I had to be sitting with you, or I had to be around you. So it's not just that you wanted me to sit with me. It's also that I wanted to just like be around you, just like like that. But I think since we have started sitting in different rooms for whole days, even if being in the same house, and we have still been the same clothes, and you have not become a different person when I come back to you, kind of. So
I don't become a different person like half an hour after I come back to you.
I used to have that insecurities.
Just the final point to that, I guess, is I mean, me with no like real siblings, and you coming into my world and being so clingy. Uh, you know, I mean, you gotta give some credit here.
To you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, imagine 24/7 somebody's like around you and it's like, oh, what are you doing? So what's on your phone? What are you watching? Why are you watching this? I mean, yeah.
You always watch general stuff.
Yeah. So I think let's summarize it. I mean, this has been more than 1 hour, I think.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Wow. I think
How will we edit this video?
Well, I don't know. I'm worried. So anyway, so I think just the leaving thoughts on this was, I think insecurity usually comes from a lack of knowledge. That fear or insecurity always comes from lack of knowledge and lack of communication in some ways. Knowledge, when you communicate with each other, then that knowledge about that insecurity or fear becomes clear, and everything becomes smoother.
First of all, you have to be aware that this is an insecurity in my head.
Yes.
Like, you have to define that.
I think first thing you have to define is that this is insecurity, but also this is a person I can trust.
Yeah. You have to like make it, seal it.
Yeah.
That this is my person. We both are on the same side and we both want the good for each other and for us as a couple.
Yeah. And I think everyone's situation is different, but I think some of the things we had very early on is, we shared each other's Gmail accounts. We would know each other's like phone passcodes. We talked about our past openly just to make sure that there's no unknowns. We
stalk the hell out of each other's Gmail and Facebook.
Exactly, yeah. So all of those things were, once they were open, whether even financially,
I used to do this, that I used to know that some things might offend you, but I wouldn't delete it from my phone. I would let you find it out, or let you see
and have a discussion over it.
Yeah, I would let you see it when you are looking at my phone or something, and then you will ask me, and then I'm like, yeah, but that's the reason I didn't delete, because I did wanna let you know about it. You just have to define that this is an insecurity in my mind, and then you have to find the root cause of it, that because of this these reasons and these incidents, it's occurring in my mind. And then I think the third thing is you just have to communicate.
Yeah. Trust, communicate, not overthink, just share it out loud.
I mean, we are not the experts. We
No.
are just
But
sharing the knowledge of our experience.
These are just some of the things that we have learned so far.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure, our parents who's celebrating the 30th anniversary, they would have completely different things to share.
Yes, definitely.
So, yeah, it's just sharing what we have learned from our mistakes.
Have you got any like advices like that? Oh, that, this is marriage. It is like that. You just have to accept, the man or the woman is going to do certain things. You just,
I think,
let it be. Like, has that ever been given to you? Or an advice like that?
Obviously.
It's like women like to shop. They are going to shop. Something like that. I don't know.
That kind of thing, yes. But I think one thing, because you just said, you just have to accept. I think one of the things, yes, which I find, like, we always see this in movies, and which I don't, it's there for an art form and convenience sometimes. But, they talk about like accepting the other person as they are, and I think that's true, right? That you have to accept that person for what they are. But I think one thing that is often missed as well is, you don't have to accept yourself for what you are. You can always be better. You as in myself.
Yourself, yeah.
Myself can always be better. You have to accept the other person what they are. But when we say accept, doesn't mean you don't communicate or you don't share. If I have certain things, you have to. I'll talk to you about it. I don't expect her to change, right? I mean, that's her choice.
Sometimes the other person might not even be aware of it. So you can suggest that maybe you've been doing this way for your whole life, but if you do it this way, it would be better, and I suggest, and then the other person wants to take it, they take it. If they don't want to take it, but sometimes the other person don't even know the better. So if you just accept them without saying a word, it can be a loss on their side as well. Because you can gently suggest something, or you can kind of gently make them aware, honestly and politely, and it can help the both of you, I think.
Definitely. But
We are giving out a lot of knowledge here.
Well, I think we are discovering as we speak as well some of it that we have done. I hope that has been useful. It has been definitely insightful for us.
It was interesting because you know this, but like when I was writing the topics for this video, I kind of became so cranky.
Oh yeah, she did.
So,
like I've never seen that before.
Yeah,
like,
I became
a different level.
Because I was kind of digging through all of my insecurities to find the one that I still have remained for you, and it kind of
all came up.
It kind of brought all of that up and kind of made me quite cranky, which I didn't realize until 3-4 hours, that why am I so cranky. Like I kept saying, I don't know why I'm so cranky, but I just kept being cranky on everything. And then I realized, man, because I was preparing for this video. But to be honest, crazy. The process was a bit dark and
it is,
made me cranky.
It is a tough thing.
But I think the talking about it and making this video, I think has been really interesting. Like it has been a really interesting discussion between the two of us, and we did find out some things that the other person didn't know. And then
it's
the
been
discussion
quite freeing,
was,
I think.
The discussion was, I think, quite freeing and quite the opposite of the process. I feel.
And I think we've just started doing this, but I think this is, the only thing is we might be having conversation in our mother tongue, but I think our conversation even outside this pretty much goes like this, right? It's not very different. So hope you enjoyed this very long conversation and hope you stuck around. Thank you for listening to us.
Please give us a like, and that will definitely motivate us to make more videos like this. Do you have any insecurities, and do you have any hacks how you overcome them? Please let us know in the comments, and please share this video with your friends.
Until next time.
See ya.